So I'm sure that you've had a lot more experience with interviews than most girls in high school. So what is some advice to get them jobs that they want?
Research the person you're talking to. I think that that's the best thing, and no matter whether you're in high school or you're older, if you understand the business sector that the person is in, like what are the big things going on in that business sector? What are the 3 big things going on in that business? And then who is the person that you're talking to? And figure out how you can relate to them on a personal level. Like if you know, some way to establish the personal connection, then the rest of the interview or the rest of the conversation will open up really easily. So the best executive I know is a guy named Ted Leonsis, who worked with me at AOL. Wildly successful. He was the vice chairman of AOL. He owns the Caps and the Washington basketball team.
Wizards.
The Wizards.
I would know that.
Ted spends almost all of his time with guys, but when Ted and I first met, he asked me if I was wearing Jimmy Choo shoes. Now, there's no guy on the planet that should know what Jimmy Choos are, but Ted has made it sort of his life's mission to know about women's shoes and watches, because you can always relate through either shoes or watches. And I didn't know anything about the Wizards, but I knew a lot about the Caps because he's really into hockey, and I come from Pittsburgh, and so we were able to talk about our teams and why the Penguins and the particular players were going to beat the Caps that year. And so if you start with that kind of personal connection, where's the person from, or is there a sport that they're into, or comment on, hey, that's a really cool necklace. Did you get that at J. Crew? Or I love it, and it goes really well with your dress. It's then you're establishing a personal connection that makes everything else that comes after that easy, and it will also make you feel really comfortable, as opposed to feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm in an interview and I have to sit up straight and enunciate.
Right. Yeah. It lightens the mood of the air overall.
Exactly.
So you were talking about the executive that you looked up to. Are there any other CEOs that you find admirable?
Well, of course, Steve Jobs was brilliant and super creative, although he was I don't emulate him in a personal role. There's a fellow named John Malone who was the founder of the cable industry, who was brilliant from a balance sheet point of view. Financially, the guy is one of the biggest geniuses on the planet. There's a fellow named Robert Paulette who ran Gucci Group, who is both a friend of mine and somebody I emulate because he's a great leader of people who are creative. So there's not any one person. I try to learn and take away things that are applicable to me and to my circumstances from all of these people. But you can't really be like anybody else. You just have to look at the attributes or the behaviors of that person and what you want to take away. I don't want to be Steve Jobs. He was horrible to his family.
Yeah.
And while he was wildly creative, that's not who I want to be.
Right. And back to what you're saying about being yourself, and that's the only person you can be.
Yeah.
It all comes back.
Yeah, everybody else is taken, as they say.
Yeah, my dad always tells me to read a lot of books, to learn about their experiences, but you learn about the experiences, not necessarily be exactly who they are.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, what can you take and use in your life? That's really the key.